Well, from a Darwinian perspective, it turns out there are some answers to my anguished cries. How can this be happening? A few organisations undertake too many changes at once without a clear reason and a clear pathway. And they don't choose what can be supported, what can be scaled up, and what are worthwhile for the learners. Of course, we've all seen the huge proliferation of projects. The majority, yes, the majority are now extinct. Still, other organisations squander scarce resources, time, talent, effort, inappropriately, failing to account for the constant shift in the educational ecosystem. But I think the legacy of the past that I've tried to present to you through the tree is the strongest reason of all. And the paradox is that the more successful an educational enterprise has been in the past, particularly at deploying leading-edge ideas, the more embedded, well-fed and well-watered those innovations become, the more likely it is that they're shielded against techno-shine and will arrive at the point of inertia. In a short time, in the current climate of eco-change, they rapidly fail to be fit for purpose in the future. So in other words, we do need to understand this backwards as we live it forwards. The point I'm making to you now is that continuity of core activities and innovation need to be so deeply entwined in education enterprises that we must all have ways of dealing with both. We need to stop doing some things, perhaps well-loved things, to leave space for the new stuff. We need to deconstruct our legacy concurrently with developing quite new futures. We need to clear the path for innovation and from that path find the resources in which to fund our preferred futures. It's a twin art of extracting resources from one area to reinforce and repurpose another. I wanted just to tell you a little about my own university and how we're trying to operationalise these ideas on the tree of learning. We are clearly, like everyone, having to do what I've just said and, to use another metaphor, re-engineer the aircraft in flight. We're trying to do all three of these things. Of course, we have to extend and defend our core business activities. We need to build new emerging businesses, but we're also trying to create new and viable options that respond to the learners of the future, using the best of the ecosystem around us. We have a strategy for learning innovation, which is part of our core learning strategy for the university, and it takes account of building on what's good as well as innovation, and a way of transferring well-researched innovations from one area to another. And we operationalise this not through setting targets, not through persuading academics who are resistant, but instead through a fun approach that we call the Media Zoo. I've put some URLs up there, and I'm happy to share this approach to you. The Media Zoo is a way of disseminating throughout the university our research findings and our view of the future working with students. And you can find it on the web and on Second Life. So, before I finish, I'm going to make a few risky predictions. Fortunately, I'm at the point of my career where it's okay to be wrong. I'd like to introduce you to Genevieve. This is my avatar on Second Life. She makes more risky predictions than Gilly does from time to time. So this is what I think the way we're going, and I think I'd put learner voice, partnership with learners, and their knowledge contributions at the fore, because they're going to help us to grow the trees in lots of new kinds of ways. So thank you very much for your attention. If you like some of the tree, I'm happy to share it with you, and I hope you'll build on some of the new branches. Just to say, if you like more of it, we've got an online festival in Leicester, and we're happy to tell you more about it. Thank you very much for listening, everyone.